Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's not often I'm lost for words, to be honest with you, but this is something even beyond our wildest dreams, our wildest expectations. Before I get into it, and you are going to have to listen to me for a couple of minutes because I've got a lot to say, but just to introduce a number of people up on the top table who have been instrumental in making this happen. Firstly, of course, last week when we received the news from the WBC president, Maurizio Sulaiman, that we've been ordered to fight the #1 contender, Flora Pili, the IBO champion, the European champion, and a chance for Katie Taylor to become a 3-time undisputed world champion, the stars aligned incredibly for this event. So I want to thank Flora, I want to thank Christian Churchy as well, who we've dealt with for a long time, who has an incredible stable of fighters and doesn't mess around when they do a deal. They're fast, they're firm, and they recognise the opportunity that is being presented to Flora, an opportunity to become undisputed champion herself, an opportunity to be part of the greatest night in the history of female boxing, one of the biggest moments ever in this country. And the man to Christian's left, Peter McKenna, who we've had our backs and forwards with, but in reality, without his desire to make this happen, without his support, without his understanding of what this moment means to this incredible stadium, what this moment means to Katie Taylor, what this moment means to this country, we wouldn't be here. So thank you, Peter, as well, for that opportunity. Down on the far right, again, these events just don't take place without the support of individuals, the support of companies, the support of brands. And we're delighted to welcome Robert Ryan, the event sponsor from Lidl, here today as well, that's been instrumental to making this event happen. And then you may have seen on the artwork, you may have seen the words Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, and in association with Peter Aiken. Now, Peter Aiken is a little bit of a dark horse in this one, because unquestionably, without Peter Aiken, we wouldn't be here either. And we needed people, and excuse my language, but we needed people who were prepared to put their balls on the line to make this moment happen for history in this country. And Peter Aiken, who is one of the greatest promoters this country has ever seen, of course, across music particularly, knows, of course, this country. He knows the people. He knows this venue. And he stepped up to the plate and said, I want to be a part of this as well. So, Peter, thank you so much for your support on making this happen as well. And then, where would we be without the crazy Irishman, right? I mean, it was back in 2016, in October, that Brian Peters brought Katie Taylor into my office with a dream, and one that I wasn't convinced about until about 40 minutes into that meeting. Brian has been by Katie Taylor's side, and when we talk about loyalty in the sport of boxing, which we know is few and far between, I think we only just found out. I don't think we've ever had a contract with Katie Taylor, not a full signed contract. And Brian Peters and Katie Taylor have been an unbelievable duo that have relentlessly driven her career and allowed her to continue to break down every barrier that has been presented in front of her. So, Brian, thank you for everything in making this happen. And then we get to the lady on my right. I mean, I know this is a fight at the end of the day, but I can't quite believe the journey that we've been on over the last 10 plus years. As I said before, the moment I received that direct message on Twitter to say that, you know, I want to turn professional, I want to change the sport, I want to do all the things that I did in amateur boxing, And really it was out of respect for watching Katie in the London 2012 Games and seeing all her achievements that I even held that meeting. As I said, what happened after that in the next 30 minutes in my office just changed my mind forever. I saw such a driven individual who wouldn't be denied. And it was really that spirit, that Katie Taylor spirit, that was led by all of those people up here on this table that I mentioned to make sure that we wouldn't be denied this moment. You know, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, we sat in a restaurant and Katie Taylor told me she's done. That's the end of her career. And it was a month or so later she phoned up Brian Peters and said, I can't go. I can't go until this happens. Please make it happen. And every time it got tough, every time the doors would be closed, every time the barriers would come up, we thought about Katie Taylor. What would she do? Well, she would never be denied. When the IOC told everybody women's boxing just wouldn't be in the Olympics, how easy to walk away at that moment. But no, she banged the door down. She refused to take no as an answer. And what we've seen over the last 10 years is just one of the most incredible journeys. From the naysayers watching her make her professional debut at Wembley Arena, you know, what's going on here? A female headlining the card, to lighting up that place, to fighting on the undercards of Anthony Joshua at Wembley Stadium, at Millennium Stadium in front of 100,000, 90,000 people, to becoming world champion, to making a US debut at the Barclays Centre in New York, to fighting Delphine Persoon at Madison Square Garden, to beating her again in the Garden of Matchroom in Fight Camp during COVID, to coming back from that as well and having those historic battles, selling out Madison Square Garden against Amanda Serrano once, fighting her at the Dallas Cowboys twice, and back at Madison Square Garden 3 times. Those incredible Chantel Cameron fights, the defeat in the first fight, coming back with one of the greatest victories ever in that rematch at the 3 Arena. The journey has been incredible. And I can sit up here and I can tell you about all the great things and all the records that this will break. Yes, it will be the biggest ever moment in the history of female boxing. Yes, it will be the biggest crowd in the history of female boxing. Yes, it will be the biggest crowd in the history of female sport for an individual athlete. But it will also be one of the greatest sporting moments this country has ever seen. But more important than that, it will be her moment. Someone that's never said, I should have this, I'm entitled for that, but someone that has worked tirelessly for these kind of moments. And when Katie Taylor walks out at Croke Park on September the 5th, if there is a dry eye in the house, I will be astonished. You know, we as an Englishman, we're a passionate company and country. You guys are on another level. The support that we've had and the momentum that we've had from the people of Ireland is what's made this happen. And when you come together on that special day, it will be a moment where everybody will say, where were you when? The last person to fight at this incredible stadium? Muhammad Ali. It couldn't be more fitting that Katie Taylor will do this. And this will be something that will never, ever happen again. So, thank you, Katie. Thank you for your career. Thank you for the moments. But thank you for never being denied. And as I said, this is probably the greatest moment in our company's history in boxing, in my career, because the dream that we had back in the office was never, ever expected to see these kind of moments. And for everybody out there, and we talk often about female boxing and what Katie Taylor has done. This is true. There's young girls around the world that will look at Katie Taylor as an inspiration. But even beyond that, this is bigger than female boxing. This is bigger than boxing. This is bigger than sport. This is about inspiring people to have a dream, to follow that dream with an unwavering work ethic and a belief and a desire to make things happen. And you are an inspiration, and the country should be so proud of what you're about to witness on September the 5th. feel like there's a lot more to say, but we're going to speak to everybody up here. Let's start with Peter. Peter, me old mate, me old mucker. Come on, mate. I mean, look, you know, again, and I have to say, I know we didn't get off to the best start, but when we came face to face a couple of months ago, and I looked all of your team in the eye, I said one question: do you really want to do this? And you said absolutely. And now, September 5th, history will be made.
Absolutely. I think everyone has seen today, Eddie, you're an extraordinarily charismatic individual. And I mean, the speech you delivered there without notes is extraordinary. And your passion for your sport and your passion for Katie is enormous. She is, without doubt, the greatest Irish sports person of all time. We're mighty proud that we have this fight in Croke Park. It's going to be fantastic. So it's great that everything was able to come together. I think we were hoping that the stars would align. The stars have aligned. Peter Aiken, who's a long-time friend of the stadium, he's a great person to have taken on board. He knows the Irish market very well. He knows how to get tickets out and sold, and I think it's going to be very, very successful. So we're delighted it's going to be here. I do think it's going to be one of the great, big, historic events that have been held in Croke Park, and so thrilled that you've been able to take it to Croke Park, and we're going to do our best to make it just a spectacular evening.
Thank you, Peter. Robert, welcome. It was a pleasure to be on top of the roof at Lidl, just a stone's throw from Croke Park. Great view. If you haven't been to Lidl, just round the corner, you can get some of the best views in Croke Park. And I think steaks, chicken fillets, absolutely everything in your fine stores. But thank you for your support of Katie Taylor. Just important for the brand, the business, to support Irish sport and this incredible athlete.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And we encourage everyone to visit our stores, but please don't go up on the roof. Yeah. And don't say Eddie sent you. Yeah, look, for us, we're delighted to come on board as the title event sponsor. Katie needs no introduction. The stadium needs no introduction. So to put the two of them together is incredible. It's iconic, and it's going to be such a great night in Irish sport. For us, we've been championing female sport for a long time through our support of the LGFA, which has seen some epic battles out here over the years, and will have many more. But we've invested over 15 million over the last decade in female sport, and you know, Katie really just epitomises what we're trying to achieve with the LGFA in terms of breaking barriers, trailblazing, not taking no for an answer. We've had some high-profile campaigns over the years. Greatness deserves to be seen. Fill every seat at every game. So it just really aligns for us in terms of what Katie's trying to do, what's going to happen here on September 5th, and what we're trying to do with the LGFA, and really push those boundaries. We were delighted back in January of this year to have Katie here for the launch of the Lidl Ladies National Football League, and I could be wrong, but I think maybe that was the first time Katie was photographed down pitch side in Croke Park, and maybe that stirred something. So whatever small part we had to play when we heard that this was going to happen, we just wanted to be involved, and we would encourage, you know, everyone the length and breadth of the country to get out. Support Katie, of course, on September 5th, but the LGFA finals are also on August 2nd, and we'd love to break records in terms of the number of people attending them games as well. So, yeah, all in all, delighted to be here, delighted to be a part of it, and I think the whole country just needs to get behind that fight and enjoy the event on September 5th. Yeah.
Thank you, Robert. Peter, welcome. We had a lovely dinner a couple of months ago, and you know, you said, I want to be involved. I want to be involved in this moment of history for our country.
It sort of came about. I know Brian for years. We go back. I first met him when he was looking after Wayne McCullough. That was the only fight I was ever involved in. Your outfit was actually at one of the fights, I remember. So that's how I got involved. Brian wanted me to get involved. I was following it all in the papers all the time. It's on, and all the problems that there was and whatever was going on. I met Eddie. We had dinner. I met him, got on with him straight away, laid out how I thought I could help, what I call boots on the ground, doing what I normally do. But Katie Taylor, to me, I've promoted Bruce Springsteen in here, Garth Brooks, and she's the same as that to me. She's a superstar, a megastar. She conquered the world, as Eddie pointed out, when nobody wanted to know, but she also did it with great humility, decency and grace, which a lot of people today, as you know, don't have those qualities. And she got to the top and never lost that humility, and never lost that love of Ireland that she's always had. I've met her off the stage many's a time. She's a beautiful-looking girl, but most important, she's beautiful inside as well. That's what I always took away from meeting her. I was delighted to get involved. I had never had any ambition to get involved in boxing. I think Eddie's an extraordinary promoter. I've said that on record to many a person. The way he's reinvented the whole boxing thing, he's turned it into a spectacle. He's made people who had no interest in boxing enjoy it. And as you can see, the way the matchroom team lay out this room, like, they leave nothing to chance. They realise how important it is to get the message across. I'm delighted to be working with Brian. As I say, Brian's a good friend of mine. We go way back. I even put bands in when he had the Vortex nightclub. I don't know who came up with that name. But I said that again. I'm delighted. It's great to meet Eddie and his whole team. John and Matthew and Frank, they've been great to work with. And as I say, it's another megastar. We're delighted to be involved. And Katie, I hope it's a pleasure, as always. Thank you. Thank you.
And before we go to the opponent on September 5th, I think that the Benjamin Button of boxing. I mean, Brian Peters seems to look younger every time I see him. It's baffling when people tell me he's 78 this year.
Yeah. 72,
you know,
72.
But Brian, you know, you always do things with a smile on your face, and we have a lot of fun. But this is obviously means a huge amount to Katie, but a huge amount to you as well, and you know, Irish boxing in general.
Definitely. Thank you. Thanks very much. You're all very welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for attending here today. We really appreciate it. I think Ismisha Brian McFadder. I might go in Irish. You okay? Could I have a go? Yeah. I'm afraid that's it. That's my Irish. But I had you going for a second there. So look, I suppose 4 years ago we dared to dream that this day would become a reality, and it takes all these people up here, a lot of heavyweights, and not talking about anyone's weight or casting aspirations on anyone's. It takes a lot of people to make this a reality. I'm delighted that we have. I'd like to thank you, Eddie. I think 2016, myself, Katie, and Bridget, shout out to Bridget, went into your office and, you know, sorry guys, have a drink here, sorry about that.
I can't wait to play this back over the next couple of years.
Yeah. What
Send
a stage
you this
to
on
do it.
WhatsApp every day, you know.
Well, it's real. But look,
Yeah,
we
good
went
man.
into that day, Eddie. I don't think we really had a plan. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know how we were going to do it. You know, after Katie spoke to you, just with the conviction that she showed, I think you believed we had something very special. You know, I'd like to thank you very much. Eternally grateful, Eddie, for where you've brought us. 4 corners of this planet, all the great stadiums. And, you know, Frank Smith has been great. The Matchroom UK team, the Matchroom US team, all been outstanding. So we couldn't have done without you. Thank you very much, Eddie. This is my first public appearance in 20 years, so I'll be crawling back under my rock after this. So, Peter McKenna, you know, it's hard to get through to people what Croke Park actually means. You know, if you cut most Irish people, I think they bleed Croke Park or they bleed GAA. Very, very happy, Peter, that we came to an agreement. Hadn't been easy, but the greatest stadium in the world, without doubt, Croke Park. So thank you very much for that, Peter. I'd like to thank Robert Ryan for, now it's not Lidl, it's not Lidl, it's Lidl. Rhymes with needle. So I thank coming on board. Again, without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. So thank you very much. Myself and Peter, and Lord of mercy on his good father, rest in peace, Jim Aiken, we had some good fights back in the 90s. Yeah. So that's where, yeah, I was about 10 then, Eddie. So we had some good fights all up and down the country. So great to have you on board. This man does 500 shows a year. So great to have that kind of muscle behind this. So the way I'm going, Katie, I don't know how much I can say. Okay. But look, it's been an honour and a pleasure I have to say, Katie, we never had a contract, so it'd taken me a week to say how good it's been with Katie, but thank you very much, Katie.
Well, this is a good junction to sort of go into now, because it's all very nice, it's all very emotional, it's all very historic, but we really got to win. I mean, as we said to Katie Taylor, we were sitting down there today looking at where she's going to walk in from, the moment, oh, the fans, and it's like, we can't leave this sport without being victorious at Croke Park on September 5th. And we also need to get that one belt back to become a 3-time undisputed champion on September 5th. So we'll go back to the gushy stuff a bit later on, but for now, we go over to the champion that will be in the opposing corner. And Christian, welcome as well. You know, this moment for you, for Flora, you see the reaction of everybody today, how emotional it is for everybody. But you have a fantastic fighter who's coming to become undisputed champion here in Dublin on September 5th.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks again. I want to thank Thomas, Brian, Katie, Eddie, and Matchroom. Yeah, this is not a boxing fight, like Eddie explained very, very well. It's a historic event. And we was in a bit of shock when we received the message, are you interested in fighting Katie Taylor? I didn't even call Flora to ask. I say yes, would be an honor, because it was a no-brainer. And after that, I spoke with them, and obviously they was very happy. It take very quick to make the deal. And, you know, saying that, big party for Katie, but she will have a real fight in Flora. So Flora, she will have to take advantage of this huge opportunity.
Flora, welcome. I know maybe Christian will translate a little bit, but I know it's been your dream to become world champion, and you've earned that right. You've got yourself European champion, IBO champion, #1 with the WBC, but how big is this moment for you to not just to try and become world champion, but undisputed champion against Katie Taylor on September 5th?
Ma questa qua è un'opportunità per il titolo undisputed. Quanto è grande per te questa opportunità?
Speak French.
Speak French first, isn't it? And then you translate.
Italian.
Italian, whatever you want. Italian. Whatever you want, I mean.
Bonjour à tous. Donc, en tout cas, c'est une grande opportunité pour moi d'être présente aujourd'hui face à Katie Taylor. C'est un rêve d'une vie. Et puis, donc, en tout cas, on donnera tout pour être prête le 5 septembre. C'est grande opportunità per me e un sogno che realizza con Katie Taylor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, it's a huge opportunity. It's a dream come true to fight Katie Taylor.
Obviously, I'm sure over the years you have watched Katie, as every young female fighter has. As bigger a moment as this is for her, you believe you can become undisputed champion here at Croke Park?
Ultimamente tu l'hai vista, Katie Taylor, in tutti questi anni, sarebbe veramente un sogno diventare una con campionessa undisputed.
C'est vraiment une légende.
C'est in francese.
Si, alors pour moi, bien sûr, Katie Taylor, c'est une légende de la boxe féminine. Donc, franchement, c'est un honneur pour moi de disputer un championnat du monde unifié contre elle. Et puis, du coup, on espère rendre fière toute la France entière.
Yes, obviously I follow.
I was hoping that was the answer. Yeah, yeah.
I follow Katie Taylor's career, and she's a legend of famous sport. And I will be with all of my team to come here and make a name for myself.
Well, from French to Italian, that was very impressive. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, come on, don't you start crying as well. You know, we have got a fight to win. We have got a fight to win. But every time that I've seen you round here the last 24 hours, just the biggest smile on your face, you know, a moment that I know you've always believed in everything you've done in your career, and you were capable of achieving all these moments. But I think even this one, just beyond your wildest expectations.
Yeah, we did it. We've actually brought boxing back to Croke Park, and amazing. This was on my career bucket list for especially these last couple of months, but this is beyond my wildest dreams. So we're actually here, we've got it over the line, and that's a huge thanks to yourself, Eddie, and Brian, and every single person on this table. They've been tenacious in getting this over the line. This was really an impossible dream a few years ago, and here we are. This is going to be the most iconic moment of my whole career. I have a chance to fight in a packed out stadium in Croke Park, our most iconic venue. It's the cathedral of Irish sport, really. And I also have a chance to become a 3-time undisputed champion. How amazing is that? This is just the perfect way to end my career, and I have goosebumps. I'm thinking, wow, I actually can't believe I'm in this position right now. It's what a phenomenal moment.
How do you deal with those emotions? I mean, the emotions of walking out, the emotions of 80,000 people here, the emotions of knowing it's the last time you'll ever walk to the ring, and then having to make sure you win as well. It's a big challenge. And how special will that ring walk be? I remember when you walked out to fight Serrano at MSG, it was just, you were looking around, and this is 4 times the size, 5 times the occasion as that. Do you ever think about that walk and that moment?
I definitely do, but it is very important to win the fight, you're right. It's I've got a real fight in front of me, and I think after the last fight I wasn't sure whether I was going to fight again, and the only thing that would give me that passion again was Croke Park, and I also wanted to be in a real fight with real risk. That gives me the drive and the hunger to go again, and I have that in Flora. This is a real fight. It's a very dangerous fight, and I have to be at my very, very best. But I do imagine that ring walk. This is the last time we step into the ring, and I think of hearing the ole, ole, ole's around Croke Park one last time. It's going to be very, very special, and I want to put on a performance worthy of everyone's support over these last few years. I'm not just doing this for myself, I'm doing this for every single person in this room, every single person around the whole nation who has supported me. Just thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for giving me the respect and support women's boxing. I've said it earlier on, Eddie. I've often been given praise over these last few years for raising the sport of female boxing, but that was only possible because the Irish people actually bought into it. And the Irish people have proven themselves the best fans in the world time and time again. And I get a chance to put on one last performance in this amazing career. It's beyond my wildest dreams, and I'm going to end on a high. I'm going to end on a career best performance, and that's my plan.
A word on that fight. You know, I know that when you decided to take some time out of the ring, you had to let one of these belts go, and then when you got the order from the WBC, you were so excited about retiring undisputed. And every time you step up, this time a young undefeated opponent in the corner that's just got the opportunity of her lifestyle, big, strong 140-pounder as well. You know the challenges that lie ahead, and you know, as you close out your career, the performance is going to be so important to you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I haven't made it easy for myself over these last few years. All the performances, I seem to end up in a brawl, a war. But maybe it'll be the same September the 5th, just for one last time. Let me enjoy myself. Let me have a nice war. But it's for sure it's going to be a dangerous fight. And like I said, I wanted to be involved in a real fight. I didn't want to end my career just with someone who I can walk over. I wanted to end with a real challenge, and Flora is that real challenge. She creates a dangerous opponent, and it's going to be. I'm going to have to be at my very, very best to win this fight. But I love these kind of challenges. I don't think I've ever ducked any challenger over these last few years, and I want to end my career like that as well. I want to fight the best. I want to be the best, and I have one last chance to put on a great performance, and after that I can reflect on an amazing career. But right now I'm just focused on that fight.
Something tells me you might not box and move on September 5th in front of 80,000 in the crowd. But finally, Katie, when we look back on your incredible career, from walking through the doors of the boxing club in Bray, you know, to having to hide the ponytail and pretend you were a boy to even get fights, to 6 European Championships, 5 World Championships as an amateur, Olympic gold in London, undisputed champion twice across 2 divisions as well. The most historic, iconic night in Irish boxing history and perhaps Irish sporting history as well. What's your final message to not just even young girls? I know that's always been at the forefront, but just to people in your country who look up to you as an inspiration in terms of what you've achieved, to never saying die to any opportunity or moment and never being denied. What can we learn from you? I know you are the most humble athlete that we've ever seen, but you have to be extremely proud of yourself for what you've done.
Well, thank you so much, Eddie. And it's funny, 10 years ago today, well, not today, but 10 years ago, I was in your office with that first initial meeting, and we got an email from you a few hours later saying, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but let's give it a go. Let's see how this where this can go. And here we are. I don't think neither of us would have believed what we've achieved together over these last few years, and I'm so happy to start my career with you and then end my career with you. I think that's legacy in itself. But I mean, for all those people who have looked up to me and supported me, I'm just so grateful. And this is a legacy fight again, and I want to inspire the next generation of female fighters. And what I would say to them is, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. If you put the work in, absolutely nothing is impossible. I started out with a dream of becoming an Olympic champion. This is before women's boxing was even included in the Olympic Games. And I was relentless at that, relentless determination. And it's the same with this fight. I wanted to end my career in Croke Park, and I wouldn't let it die. And I think if you have the right people around you, and if you just keep working hard, keep your head down, absolutely nothing is impossible. And you know, that's what I say.
Well, there you have it. What else can I tell you other than every Irish fighter, current and retired, is asking to be part of this card on September 5th. What I can promise you is an incredible card, an incredible night of boxing that will be unveiled over the coming weeks. But not just that, a night of entertainment as well, a night of history for Irish sport and Irish culture as well, to make sure that everybody who comes out to support Katie Taylor in Irish boxing and sport on September 5th gets many things, but most importantly, as always, value for money and memories that will never, ever fade. Next Wednesday will be the pre-sale for tickets, and next Friday, the 12th of June, will be the official day for general sale. We expect 80,000 in attendance for this historic moment. And as I said, an incredible night of boxing, music, entertainment. It's going to be a show that you will never, ever forget. Before we break for a head-to-head, there is actually 2 other people that I want to thank particularly, who definitely don't like the limelight, and even Brian doesn't ever do this kind of thing. But and that's, yeah, I want to thank Tomas from the team as well, from Katie Taylor's team. You know, I mean, he really is the silent one, you know, but he's the one that puts all the pieces together behind the scenes. Brian's right-hand man, you know, completely. I want to thank Frank Smith as well from the Matchroom team, who has, I think a clap was more than enough for Frank Smith. We don't need to start giving him a big ego, but again, him, you know, this is another guy who's just brilliant at what he does with P2, comes in, gets the deal done, no nonsense, and you know, this is an important moment for him as well, our whole team. But I also want to thank Bridget as well, Katie's mum. I think, you know, you were there that day, you know, when we first met in the office, and every fight you've been there by her side, you know, arms raised, but also, you know, in defeat as well, only once, which she avenged. Just want to point that out as well, it wasn't a problem. But you know, the journey that you two have been on as well, incredible. I couldn't have wished for a better team. I couldn't have wished for a better, don't even want to say client, because it's much, much bigger than that. Friend, hero, everything that Katie Taylor is. And September 5th, I promise you, we will do everything we can. And I know everybody up here will deliver one of the greatest moments in the history of this country. Thank you all so much for your support. We did it. We did it. And you will never forget it. Thank you very much.